Live exclusively on DAZN. A champion with a disputed crown. A self-proclaimed king without a throne. Vegas crowns champions. Barrios versus Garcia. February 21st. Enter the promo code at checkout to get an exclusive discount on the pay-per-view when bought with a DAZN subscription. Rules and restrictions apply.
This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined over Zoom by Mr. Gareth Davies, who was what did you have? Your own personal cameraman yesterday, just following you about?
Yeah, I had my mate Joseph Brody with me. We were doing a little documentary about behind the scenes of the Fury is back yesterday. So I was working with Joseph. He's a very creative filmmaker, and so we're working together yesterday. It was great fun. Well, you saw what happened. We went, right behind the scenes.
You love it. We'll come on to it, but what happened there, John? Just edging him in, trying to calm him down, but also trying to get a little scoop as well.
Yeah, I mean, look. I know John fairly well. I've known him nearly 20 years, and I know when he's irate about something, it's not directed at us. It's directed at his feelings about whether he's respected or not. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. And obviously he'd been trolled for a long time by Carl Froch, and he saw him there and it incensed him. And he's very proud, even though people don't understand it a lot of the time. He's very proud of what his family's done, and that they're bred fighters, if you like. And I think that all comes out. You were up there and close and personal as well. Although, kind of standing behind Coogan.
Coogan, did you see Coogan get slapped on the arm?
Yeah, I think John was just expressing himself. He wasn't trying to hurt Coogan.
Oh, I know.
He was just expressing himself. And Coogan knows him very well as well. Yeah. Coogan and I go back to talking with John in the hotel in Dusseldorf, the couple of nights before Tyson beat Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson was a young whippersnapper. Not Tyson. Tyson was a young whippersnapper then, but Coogan was a young whippersnapper. Also, it's nice to see Coogan doing some work, because all I ever see him doing at the moment is glorifying himself in the last 15 years of IFLTV.
Oh God!
He's done a lot of interviews, but I know it's.
It's only one interview. That was only one interview. It's just chopped up.
But it chopped up. It's done about 1,000 pieces. No, but
listen,
but
content's content, G. You know that.
It is. I mean, and it was a sideshow yesterday seeing that happen. 45 minutes before the press conference. I mean, we're on it, talking about it now. You can come back to it whenever you want, but look, John is like that around fight conferences, around whenever his sons are boxing. We've seen it. Remember when he was headbutting the perspex screen when KSI and Tommy were facing off, when the kickoff with the Fury and the Usyk entourage in the first Fury Usyk fight. It was the first one, wasn't it? John is a very unbridled passion in those moments.
Well, we're on it now, so we might as well talk about it.
Do you think Carl was looking worried, by the way?
You know what? I was just coming back upstairs, so I kind of missed the Carl bit. I just got the aftermath, which you saw me at. So that's more of a question aimed at you, to be fair. Do you think it could have come to blows at any time, or no?
No. I mean, John is expressing himself. Well, I hope it would never come to blows. It is. Some people criticise it as an unnecessary sideshow, but it's just part of the circus that we're involved in, and and it's part of the show. No, I wouldn't have liked it to have come to blows, but I think John's probably genuinely a little bit angry about getting trolled so much by Carl Froch, and then he's there making money out of his son fighting, working for Netflix. That's his logic. People can like it or not; it's up to them. But I understand where and why John was being like that, which was why I was asking him genuine, kind of like, videographic journalistic questions.
Yeah.
It was. I wasn't trying to get in on the act. I was just trying to do some journalism around it.
He does get a lot of criticism, like you would have seen it, Gareth, not just from yesterday's altercation, shall we call it, but as you said, in the past as well. But it is genuine passion for his son, and as he put it yesterday, none of this would be happening if it weren't for what come from his cojones, as you put it on TalkSport. So I'll go with your wording there.
Well, it's a polite way of putting it rather than the spunk in my testicles or whatever he said.
See, you can say that on IFL. You can't say that on
I
TalkSport.
would not say that on TalkSport. You can't say that, but it was, but the way it comes out from John, it's so kind of explosive that people see it as like they're just so shocked, aren't they? At the time, it's quite shocking. But we know him, don't we? And we know what he's like and where he's from in that way. And when John's like that, people sit back and just let him be. And people might disparage this, and even me saying this, but it really made news yesterday. And I was weirdly, when I heard John's voice and I was with Brody, we were filming. I said, "Oh, let's go and see what's happening with John. I can hear his voice." And he had just been down flexing by the raised platform where Lennox Lewis and Carl Froch were broadcasting with Anna for Netflix. And I didn't see Carl's face at the time, but I wondered whether Carl was thinking, well, are we going to have it here? Is it going to happen? But as I was saying at the time in my little film, John is a great purveyor of selling fights and always has been. He's a heavyweight himself. People are putting clips out of him fighting, getting stopped by Henry Akin one day today. And, if you're not there, you don't understand it. And people saying, God, you were going right up. Why? His ire was not aimed at us, was it?
No.
He was just expressing himself, and we're filming it. It's very interesting. He's an
Steve Bunce
intriguing.
got caught in the crossfire a little bit.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what Bunce he done, but yeah, there you go. But what I want to compare it to is obviously last week we had the Simon Jordan Deontay Wilder side story. This week we've had the
Yeah.
Carl Froch John Fury side story to these big heavyweight press conferences. From obviously my perspective, from a content perspective, we love it because we're sitting here 12 hours later talking about it. But is it good, in your opinion, for these big fights to have these subplots?
Fighting is about hype and promotion.
Yeah.
If there is no hype and promotion, if there's no personality, if there's no drama, it doesn't sell. I'm sure John didn't go there with the intention of selling, but on the big occasion, it just comes out. Rather like Tyson yesterday, saying, and he is such a big personality. You felt like the heavyweight division was alive again, and I don't mean Tyson's the number one in the division now, but he's the number one entertainer. He's the number one character. He gets the most headlines. He spoke very poignantly and very, very empathetically yesterday of Anthony Joshua, and segued into what's happened tragically with Anthony Joshua and his friends. Into it made me realise you have to make the most of life, and hopefully that goes out to Anthony Joshua as well. That it helps him turn a corner if it does, because we all want to see those two in a ring together. It's a great occasion for British sport, British people, see those two in the ring. And at the moment, for all that hubris that Fury's bringing, I brought the drama back to the division. I'm making it great again. I'm making boxing great again. Heavyweight boxing great again. I'm wearing my Netflix sliders and tie. You know, we're on the big platform, Netflix. For all that hubris, who knows whether Arslanbek Makhmudov could end up being his nemesis? Because we don't know at reaching 38 if Tyson Fury has got the legs anymore.
Yeah, look, I think we will talk about Tyson and just his form that he was on yesterday, because he was on great form. We said that off camera just before we started. But just on Arslanbek Makhmudov, he didn't give much at the press conference, but he said something really interesting to me in my interview with him. He said, the last time one of my brothers, a Dagestani, was disrespected like that was when
Conor
Conor
McGregor and
McGregor
Khabib,
disrespected Khabib.
I
And
saw you.
I thought that was very interesting. There was a little bit of not a switch, but you see, it was a bit of a statement of intent there, wasn't it?
Well, he's not going to go up on the press conference dais and try and take Tyson Fury on verbally, because you're not going to win that one, are you? And obviously, he's a charming man up close, Arslanbek. But he's not going to be able to compete. He can speak English fairly well, to be honest. It's a kind of it's a Montreal English where they speak French there. So you know, and he's not a great projector of his voice. He's quite a shy man in some ways. So he kept his counsel. But like you say, I saw that. I was very impressed with that analogy. You know, like the last time a Dagestani was disrespected, look what Khabib did to Conor. And at least he's signalling that intent. He's got a great moment in his career. You know, he's had 2 losses. He beats Dave Allen. He's known to the British public. You know, I've known about this fight happening for quite a long time. And I think it's a good opponent. He physically matches up well. And if Tyson hasn't got it in him anymore, as I say, as approaching 38, inactive for 15 months, this guy will take advantage of it. But having said that, I think his style suits Tyson Fury. Big target, long kaleidoscopic jab. Fury can hit him, hold, move. Got to be careful about being hit himself. You got to remember, Fury still looked good in that second fight against Alexander Usyk. He just got finagled 8 rounds to 4. It was a competitive fight. You were there. It was a competitive fight to the last. And the rounds were very close. So if Fury's still got that, I expect him to win. But if not, it's going to be a real test.
100%. And I think just on Tyson Fury, I know we spoke about the Netflix sliders, the Netflix tie, but he looked really well. And it was mentioned up on stage that I think he's about 16 pounds lighter now than he was for the second fight against Alexander Usyk. But if looks told the story, and I know they definitely don't, then you're looking at a very, very dangerous fighter approaching 38.
Yeah, but you've got to be realistic about it. You know, he's not going to fight much beyond 40 if he fights for 2 more years. He's probably only got 3 fights left in him. He's getting, I assume, a massive payday for coming back for this. And all roads, we assume, lead to, I don't know, a fight with the winner of Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, or a fight with, if he can win the belt, maybe Usyk for a 3rd time, Alexander Usyk, or Anthony Joshua late this year, or late in the summer, or early next year. So outside those 3 fights, there's probably not that much else for him. You know, if it's Makhmudov, Wardley, or Dubois and Joshua to finish his career, or Usyk, that's it. That's the career over. Whether his body will last that long, I don't know. Look, he's been living in 30-degree heat for the last few months in Thailand. We've seen him running. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's got all that kind of love for boxing back again. The addiction's being fulfilled. So he is in a good place. And he's spoken out about that. And you could feel the joy at being alive from him yesterday, and that he's back in the frame and back in the big time. So, and he needs to be, because they need to fill that stadium for April the 11th on 3 weeks in a row of very big heavyweight boxing events for us in the UK, with Moses Tauma fighting Jermaine Franklin in Manchester. Then we go to London, O2 Arena for Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder in their 50th fights, Battle of the Icons, and then Tottenham the week after. So it's great for us. Let's see how the fans embrace it, what they're going to pick, what they're going to choose. I don't think there'll be a problem. I think there'll be momentum in that month. But Fury's got to deliver on April the 11th.
What do you make of Fury saying he's going club-a-lang, no trainer for this fight?
I don't believe him.
Mm.
I don't believe. At the moment, he's out in Thailand training with a group of people we haven't seen before. I know that some of the team are going back with him or have gone back today with him. People like Christian Blacklock, his strength and conditioning coach. So you can rule that one out. Well, he told me yesterday he was going back with him. You know, I wonder whether Sugar Hill Stewart isn't working with him this time. We don't know yet. I imagine John will be working with him. My indications are that John's going to work with Tyson. So, I mean, we know how Tyson gets on with his father, and we know how knowledgeable John is on boxing, and he is. Whether you like it or not, John is an incredibly knowledgeable person, as is Shane, as is his family. They're steeped in boxing. I think he'll have a trainer. He doesn't need just a guy to wash his gum shield and put some Vaseline on his face. As I think he told one journalist or reporter yesterday. I saw a little clip of that. He doesn't need anything but that. He's going to need people in the corner with him, and he's going to need people in camp with him now. What, we 8 weeks out? So this is when the serious stuff starts.
A lot of, obviously, us yesterday asked him about Deontay Wilder's comments over the past 2 weeks in regards to cheating in that trilogy that we see a few years ago now. He kind of tried to take the moral high ground and said he feels sorry for Deontay Wilder. He's worried about him. A stark contrast to what John said, by the way. But yeah, what did you think of that? Tyson didn't really want to engage in that sort of conversation yesterday, did he?
No, it was about him. It wasn't about Wilder yesterday. The sensible thing to do, if they can manage it, is to build the fight on April the 11th. Is get Fury ringside if he's back in the UK for Moses Tauma and for Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora. He fought the pair of them 6 times, for goodness sake. So he's got a place in that running order, and it would help to promote the fight, I'm sure, as I said. Yeah, he doesn't need to comment on Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has definitely got PTSD from the 3 fights with Tyson Fury. He was well and truly beaten in the 3rd epic encounter when they were both down a couple of times, and Wilder 3 times in the end. But the Wilder's looking for a reason that he lost those fights. And he believes he was hard done by. He believes there was a problem with the gloves. He believes he shouldn't have been pulled out of the second fight by Mark Breland with a towel. He believes Fury got white man privilege when Jack Reese counted him out. I mean, I don't go along with it, but I'm fascinated to see this documentary if it's being made. But I think Fury did the right thing yesterday. Made it about himself yesterday, about his comeback. You know, he's the guy coming back on Netflix, the first big Netflix event in the UK that will do tens of millions of viewers on the channel. He's the guy that's got a second series out, At Home with the Furies, that may well be released before that event, before or after. He's the guy in possession of the big deals, if you like. Look, he's lost twice to Alexander Usyk in fantastic fights in Saudi Arabia. And as you can well imagine, Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudi Arabians are still behind this event. It's a ring event. It's a Netflix event. There's obviously Frank Warren is involved as promoter with Tyson Fury, and Spencer Brown as his manager, and that whole team around Tyson Fury. But this is the big show. Netflix have got him there for a reason. He sells fights.
Let's talk about Wardley-Dubois. I think 3 men need to be commended for making this fight, and that's Fabio Wardley. No one would have minded him taking a slightly easier first defensive
Jarrell
matchup in
Miller or
Rio.
someone? Jarrell Miller or
Yeah, there you go. Daniel Dubois as well, because again, there was a lot of talk about would he come back in a slight warm-up fight after that Usyk fight, and Frank Warren for making it. It's such a brilliant all British heavyweight world title fight that didn't need to happen right now, but yeah, it is May the 9th at the Co-op Arena.
tick, 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 like you say, for promoter and fighters, for Frank Warren, Wardley, and Dubois. They're both in their prime. They're both dangerous. It's a 50-50. Dubois is going to be really dangerous early on. Wardley will become more dangerous as the fight wears on. Both have big punches. Both have concussive power. Both are young men. It has to thrill. It won't disappoint this fight. And you have to applaud them for doing it. I wondered whether it would go to Portman Road or to a stadium. It's O2 Arena, isn't it?
The Co-op, Manchester.
Co-op Arena, 20,000 fans. Manchester's a huge fight city, so you can understand it going there. May the 9th. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And if it is amazing, maybe we get a rematch. But the good thing is it keeps one of the belts in operation and moving. It's a great fight.
Who wins?
Dubois early, Wardley late.
That wasn't my question, Gareth. Who do you believe wins this fight?
Can answer it in 3 words.
Go on.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll...
who am I picking? Oh, I keep picking against Fabio. I didn't with the Justice Hooney fight. I did win in the Joseph Parker.
Silence is golden here. The cogs turning in Gareth A. Davies' head.
Fabio.
Fabio Wardley, there you go. And I will say...
Sixth round knockout. 7th round knockout.
That silence there says it all, though. Just how close this one's going to be, and I certainly can't wait for it.
You see them moving, but then is Fabio hittable for Dubois early? You know, it really could go either way. It's a 50-50 for me.
It is.
But it's like a 55-45 for the first 4 rounds for Daniel. And then after that, the plates shift a little bit. It's a gotta-watch fight, isn't it? It's a must-watch fight.
It is absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait for that on the May the 9th. Just to finish off, Gareth, 2 things I want to ask you about. First being Wood Warrington this weekend. Again, going to ask for your pick. And yeah, I think it's called Last Man Standing because it really is Last Man Standing. You get the feeling someone will retire on Saturday night.
Well, look, Wood shows, as he always, Lee Wood showed that he's got incredible power. He's 37 now, talking about people in their mid-30s, and Josh Warrington, 35. They're both up at super feather. It's the championship of each other, this one now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not for a belt. They've both been featherweight world champions. It's incredible at their age they can still boil down to 130 pounds. They should be at lightweight by now, really. But I get Warrington's gripe and how he's kind of annoyed that the fight was stopped in the 7th round last time out. His volume and punch output was brilliant in the fight. I've got the scorecards here. When he was, after 6 rounds, it was 59-55 twice and 58-56 to Warrington on the cards. So he was winning the fight. I just have a feeling that Wood, with that extra weird power that he's got in his hands, is going to do it, but a little bit later this time, 8th or 9th round. Brilliant fight. Two cities, football fans. It's going to be a visceral, violent atmosphere in there on Saturday night. I'm going Wood to win it at home.
Okay, and just to finish
What about
up,
you? What about you?
You know I don't give predictions, Gareth.
Don't give predictions then.
I don't give predictions, but I do think it is again. Yeah,
Just
probably.
you've
Yeah,
never been right.
that's probably right there. But I do think, like Wardley-Dubois, I do think it is very, very close. I will say that. Ryan Garcia, Barrios also this weekend. This come around really quick, this one.
Yeah, and I really like it as well. Real chance for Ryan Garcia to show his back up in the big time. Obviously struggled with Rolly Romero, did an incredible performance against Devin Haney, but was overweight and tested positive afterwards. Drinking beer in fight week, was it a stunt or not? Was he out of his mind? Was he sending us up? You know, was it a morality act? Was it a morality play? The fight with Devin Haney expunged from the records. Big opportunity for him. I think he's got more power than Barrios. Should he be fighting for the WBC welterweight crown? That's debatable as well. Conor Benn will be ringside. I'd love to see Conor Benn against Ryan Garcia, and I love this idea that out of this fight, Turki Al-Sheikh's going to create Night of the Warriors or whatever it's called, and that we're going to get a Shakur, a Keyshawn, Tio, all these guys in a one night event. Devin Haney in a one night event. Rolly Romero, Conor Benn in all on the same card. It's a really good fight. I think that Garcia can win this by mid to late round stoppage or on points if he's at his best, and I hope he is.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see what Ryan Garcia we get, and I think we'll semi hope that we get to see a good version of Ryan Garcia, just so we can get that Conor Benn fight later this year.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, because whatever anyone says, Conor Benn is a crossover star. He's a box office star, and they love him over in America. Those two massive fights at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last year definitely saw him cross over into being a mainstream star, and he's viewed in that way now by Turki Al-Sheikh, and you can see that the Ring magazine values him as the young, iconic British fighter.
Live exclusively on DAZN, a champion with a disputed crown, a self-proclaimed king without a throne. Vegas crowns champions, Barrios versus Garcia, February 21st. Enter the promo code at checkout to get an exclusive discount on the pay-per-view when bought with a DAZN subscription. Rules and restrictions apply.